community, veteran, whatever.
Rail Country, it is 18 minutes after 9 o'clock and 70 degrees right now. Again, a reminder, we have some early dismissals today. Western Dubuque schools, Mac Valley and Edco schools, also Anamosa schools, all dismissing at 1 p.m. Edco is at 1:30. And then Monticello Pre-K through 8th dismissing at 1 o'clock because of our near record high, about 95 today. Not good weather to be walking in, but a couple guys are doing it with a program called Vets Trek. I have Pat Valant here this morning, and you probably have heard Pat's name mentioned along with our Victory Ford remotes or that kind of thing.
I get around.
He's the interwebs guy over there. Get all the pictures posted and all the content and all that stuff. So you'll probably see Pat around the parking lot out the Stonefront restaurant taking pictures. But Pat, Vets Trek. Let's start first of all with the program and what it has to do with Dyersville.
Actually, it's called Veterans Trek, and you can look up their website, veteranstrek.com. It's 2 Iraq war vets that are out of Wisconsin, out of the Milwaukee area. They're walking from Milwaukee to Los Angeles, and they just happen to be coming through Dubuque and then through Dyersville down Heritage Trail on Friday afternoon. And what they're doing is they're trying to raise money, $100,000, for a veterans organization called Dryhootch. And then they're also just trying to raise awareness for all veterans issues, PTSD, suicide, homelessness, joblessness, all those things that veterans are dealing with days, months, years after their deployments. And it's just a great opportunity, I think, for me to get involved and support them in their effort.
Absolutely, and let's get into the Dryhootch program for just a moment.
Dryhootch is actually, if you would learn, I guess, or know some military terminology, hooch is a place to stay. Dry, in this case, means warm and safe, and then it also means alcohol-free. It's a center that veterans can get together, and currently they're starting in the Milwaukee area, but it's that warm, safe, dry, alcohol-free place that veterans can meet and feel that their concerns are going to be listened to, and then network and share those concerns, because there are a lot of veterans dealing with a lot of issues that I guess we don't see every day, and we don't think they're there, but they really are there.
Right, we talk about, with Veterans Day, and we talk about salute to the troops and that kind of thing, but there's a lot more issues than after they come home, is dealing with the long-term effects of a deployment, whether they be physical, financial, mental. There's a lot of different things to assimilate back into things, society, when they come back. And, like I said, past the welcome home, we throw the parade and that kind of thing, but there's a lot more to the most difficult part comes after that.
And every generation is dealing with this. I think we have an awareness of Iraq and Afghanistan war veterans right now, but the Vietnam guys have gone through Korea, World War II. I'm sure even the World War I guys had those issues, and everywhere in between. But we are really good as a society to welcome the plane home and have that flag waving at the welcome home ceremony. But what happens the day after, the month after, the years after? And those concerns and those issues the veterans have, they live with it every day. They don't live with it just Memorial Day, Veterans Day, or Armed Forces Day. And I think that's part of their mission, Veterans Trek, is just to raise that awareness for those day-to-day issues, the backlogs at the VA hospitals, getting people treated. It all comes into play.
Yeah, because there are some companies moving in the right direction, whether it be special programs to get veterans hired, but there's a lot that fall between the cracks that don't have that opportunity to get in on those kinds of programs, and the very basic needs of life are what some of these guys are dealing with.
Exactly, and I think they get home and they don't have that support network that they had on their base, or they're in their unit. They're not in the military anymore. Maybe the family doesn't understand or afraid to ask what their needs are, the community, and so forth. So, one of the things I guess I'm pushing to is, with them coming through Dyersville Friday afternoon, is maybe we can turn out as a community and meet these guys, greet them, perhaps donate to their cause, and we're trying to get as many people out 5:30 on Friday night at the Field of Dreams. I've kind of cleared it with the site. And it's nothing formal. There's not going to be brass bands. There's not going to be flag details. It's just come out, meet the guys, It's Anthony and Tom. They're regular guys that have taken on this incredible, brave mission of walking across, this great land of ours and making people aware at the smallest community level, like Dyersville, that these issues exist.
Right. How has national press been? There's a lot of these things that get a lot of notice, so to speak. And this, at least as of last week, was kind of under the radar, it seems to me.
And I think there's a lot of programs like that, and that's, I guess, where it needs to get started, is the grassroots. There is a documentary film crew that is going to be following them. They're going to see them cross the Mississippi, which is obviously probably the first great milestone, and the town of Dubuque, that great river city setting or backdrop. And then they were interested in the Dyersville story with the Field of Dreams and Dyersville having that small town draw and that feeling of hometown that I think a lot of veterans are looking for and maybe aren't finding.
Right, and then the big towns, it's very easy for those guys to go unnoticed.
Oh, absolutely. That's every day.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Now, I had a pertinent question I was going to ask. Oh yeah, the website, veteranstrek.org.
Mm-hmm.
That's
or .com. I'm sorry.
It is .com. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Veteranstrek.com is where folks can go to make a donation. They can donate online, is that right?
They can donate online. They can follow the guys as they move across the country. And the donation thing, if there's an opportunity Friday for you to come out, I know I'm challenging some of the local businesses and nonprofits, maybe with this call today. I know Victory Ford's in for $100. I know American Legion Post 137 is donating, and any other organization, the Ancient Order of Hibernians, the Knights of Columbus, not to call people out, but other businesses. I contacted the chamber a bit too, and just get that word out. And if you can't come out Friday night, maybe drop off a check at KDST or at Victory Ford, or I'm around the community, Pat Valant, just give me a call, and I'd be more than happy to get that donation to the guys.
Sure, and as far as they're coming through Dyersville, they have any idea how long it's going to take them to get to Los Angeles? I mean, they're going to stop here. They've been walking for, when did they start out?
They started August 30th, I believe, at the War Memorial in Milwaukee.
Right, which is on the lake, isn't it?
I believe so. So I think we're probably sea to shining sea here, lake to ocean. But I think they had 5 months planned out. The heat has been a killer.
Yeah.
They're obviously dealing with the sore feet, the sore back. They're carrying everything on their backs, and that's another thing that they're seeking. In this case, in Dyersville, I've offered my home to be the host family, I guess, for the night. And they're either sleeping on the ground or they're staying with families. And luckily, they've been, through the state of Wisconsin, they've had communities such as Dyersville embrace them, meet them. Some of the schools turned out, and also have host families that can put them up for the night. Put a roof over their head, maybe give them a meal, and then the next day they've got the challenge again of 12, 15, 20 miles to make their next goal or objective.
Right now, their Veterans Trek is also on Facebook. You can follow their progress there and share it with your friends and maybe friends down the line as these guys make their trek westward. Folks down the line can have a chance to turn out to support them, to possibly house them.
Yes, and I think they're going, continuing on to Manchester, Independence, Waterloo, I think through Ames in their journey west. I actually created a Facebook event on my page, which is public page, so you can look it up, for our event Friday night. And I shouldn't even say event. It's just, let's show the guys the support. If you come out for a minute, drop something in the hat, and just say, guys, we understand, and a small town like Dyersville showing that kind of support, I'm sure it's just going to snowball for them as they go down the road. And that's part of the story and why the documentary crew is following them. Not just the story about those veterans, but all those communities that do show their support.
Okay, very good. And again, it's veteranstrek.com, and Trek is Trek.
Yeah, like Star Trek.
Trek. Veteranstrek.com, and also to benefit Dryhootch. Right?
Yes, and you can look at dryhootch.org. I know the name is, what does that mean? It's that safe, alcohol-free, dry place that these veterans can meet. And I think they're starting in Milwaukee and may export that success. It's veterans, by veterans, for veterans.
Absolutely. And any way folks can get involved otherwise?
Well, the biggest thing, like you said, is go to that website. And this isn't your only opportunity. When you see Veterans Affairs, let your congressman know or let your senators know that our veterans are important to them, because they do have the purse strings on a lot of the programs. And we're always good at funding the front end of these conflicts. Sometimes the back end we're a little weak on. And I know we're real lucky with Bruce Braley, who's a local congressman that is very involved in Veterans Affairs, as all our congressional representatives. But make them aware, and if you see that little opportunity, you can help by hiring a veteran or doing what you can. It all helps the cause.
Now, locally, is there anything set up like this for veterans of our immediate area? I mean, is there something that can go to vets locally? It's hard to say, besides obviously supporting our Legion.
The Legion, of course, if they have events, but Dubuque County has a Veterans Center that's in Dubuque, Cedar Rapids, some of the other areas. And unfortunately, out in the outer reaches here in Dyersville, makes it sound like the outer rim of the galaxy, but we're not. We don't really have maybe that support network that we could have.
And they were lucky to fit this in Friday. I know you are heading out actually as a guardian for
honor flight on Monday. So,
yeah,
and I've got National Guard drill this weekend too. So I'll be a busy guy for
busy
3-4 days and
all right.
Rest up afterward.
Veterans Trek stops Friday evening in Dyersville, shooting for the Field of Dreams out there at 5:30.
5:30, be open
yeah.
a little bit,
Right.
and they're going to be setting up for their big event this weekend, so we'll try to
Yeah.
stay out of their way. But thanks a lot to Doug and Matt and KDST for giving us this opportunity.
Anything to help our vets out, and again, you can check these guys out, make a contribution. It's veteranstrek.com, dryhootch.org. Yep. Be the other program. Very good. Thank you very much, Pat. It's 9:30 and time for markets.
Woo, awesome. Thank you. Very good.